Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, I'd like to recognize that it is County Government Month, and that's exciting. County Government Month. Yeah. I expect gifts and everything, like Christmas, It's County Government Month, not day, month. But I'd like to take a moment to recognize that April is National County Government Month. Throughout the month, we'll highlight the many ways that county government serves and supports our community, every resident, every day. Later this month, we'll release our annual State of the County report. But this morning, I'd like to start by sharing some insight into county government at the national level. Did you know, for example, that there are 3,069 counties across the United States, and every American lives in one? That's very unique for local government. Though in some places they're called boroughs, and others parishes, and even some still called shires. Counties play a critical role in the nation's infrastructure, owning and maintaining 45% of American roads, 34% of its airports, 38% of its bridges. Counties also provide, and I would say too, Franklin County, we're part of our airport. I don't know what the percentage of bridges are, but we oversee the safety and the maintenance of all of those bridges. So that's, I don't know who owns them. I suppose we do. Yeah, I was looking at you, Nick. But counties also provide essential services like public health and elections. Across the nation, there are more than 1,900 county health departments, and every 2 years, counties fund and oversee nearly 100,000 polling locations. In total, over 38,000 elected county officials. There are over 38,000 elected county officials and 3.6 million county employees that work daily to keep local government running smoothly and effectively for their communities. We're proud to celebrate this work this April and look forward to sharing more throughout the month about how county government, your government, what we do, and what Franklin County government is doing to serve every community. I would just add, too, that counties are actually the first form of local government. And that makes us have this sort of rich history. I was just watching Commissioner O'Grady. I mean, Commissioner O'Grady is excellent on the history of the county, by the way, but I'm watching this show. It's called 1923, and it's the precursor to Yellowstone. And it's amazing because there's county government, operating in a time when we were not as advanced technologically as a country or even infrastructure-wise. Some of the infrastructure is still being built out. And I've been fascinated by the Yellowstone history, and I know it's sort of indulged in, what do you call that, fictional history or whatever. But I know, so some of it's indulgence, but a lot of it is real history. And more importantly, you can see the role that the underlying government plays. The sheriff, which is our part of the county government, county services like public health, especially in times when we were emerging as a country with our infrastructure. The last thing I'll say is that I've been fortunate to work at the city level. I was a city council person for 10 years, almost 10 years. I was the state treasurer, and so I worked at the state level. Also served in the legislature, and I was a staffer too. So I have various roles, and then I'm exposed a lot to the federal level because I'm married to a congressperson, and I have to say, there is no level of government like county government. County government is the one that sort of has a piece of all of the different governments sort of embedded in its design, infrastructure, and the way it carries out services. Columbus, for example, is under state law what's called home rule. So they they create their charter, and then they operate under this sort of foundational legal premise that allows them to do certain things, like provide police services, provide fire services, some infrastructure, some public utilities, et cetera, et cetera. The state government is very much the link that is the pipeline from the federal government that comes into where the money kind of flows and then back into the county government. So, and then county government, while by Ohio Revised Code standards is an extension of state government, essentially, we get, I think we get funds directly from the federal government. We work definitely with, not just the cities, villages, townships in Franklin County, but in Central Ohio. And because sometimes we provide water in a region or sewer service in a region or other services. And so I think county government to me is the most, it's probably the low key kind of government of all of them, but I feel like we carry out big services. We carry out big systems, and so I'm grateful for all the employees. When I was coming in just now, two of the guys at PFM, one guy stopped me and said, "Hey, did you get those hats I sent you, the PFM hats?" And I said, "Man, I wore them all winter. I work out, I wear and it's that kind of camaraderie. Then I said, "Hey, man, y'all got a busy day?" And he said, "Busy day? Every day is busy." I was like, I don't even know why I asked you that, But the point is that, in county government, we do a little bit of everything, but have a major impact. And so to all of the employees that work here at Franklin County, no matter what you do, what department you're in, know that you are very much a part of the fabric of quality of life for people who reside in Central Ohio, and you make a difference. So I know, John, I think you always give really good history, factoids. You got some factoids for us today?
Well, I do. I got a million I could give, but I won't. But I will say a couple brief things. Before I became a county commissioner, I used to, or before I started working for the county, because I was the clerk of courts before I was a commissioner, I used to think I was kind of a cool guy. I was a jock.
When was that?
Yeah, before I became.
Oh,
worked
okay,
for the county.
okay.
Now I always say I'm just a policy nerd like all the rest of us, that work for the county, because we get so involved in all the work that we do here. But I take that as a badge of honor, working with Ken every day and working with Commissioner Boyce and Commissioner Crowley every day and working with all of you guys every day. We get involved in all the work that we do on behalf of the residents of Franklin County, and we immerse ourselves in all this work and with our colleagues from across the state and across the country. And so the more we do that, the more we get involved in it, the more of a nerd that I feel, in a good way, the more of a nerd that I feel like I become. And I could sit here and talk about all these county government factoids. When Commissioner Boyce laughed about this being April being County Government Month, I like County Government Month, and I like county government a lot. And I like the fact that it's diverse and different all across the country, and that we have different forms of county government, and that it's done differently in different places. I'm a big proponent of county government reform. I think that it's done very awkwardly here in the state of Ohio. I think that it's very cumbersome here, and it's very difficult. And it's kind of funny, because as awkward and cumbersome as it is, and it's done here in the state of Ohio, we can't argue against it here in Franklin County, because we also argue that we do it better in Franklin County than it's done anywhere else in the state. And because it's done, we do it so well here, we can't exactly make a case to the residents of Franklin County that we should change it. We have friends in Texas that are known as county judges, even though they're not attorneys and they're not judges. They're county judges, but they're county commissioners just like we are. In Louisiana, they're called police jurors, but they're commissioners. So they have different nomenclature and different names and different, but we all do the same thing. We all basically have the same job, and in different places. I mean, there's 3 of us that sit on the Board of Commissioners here in 86 of our 88 counties, and in places like, Cook County, Illinois, and Will County, Illinois, they have 23 or 27 members of the board that serve in different districts. and represent, 85 or 90,000 people, while we represent 1.35 million people or more here in Franklin County, and we're elected, at large, and they all represent a specific, very specific geographic district. In a place like Fulton County, Georgia, that we all think of this as a giant monolithic, place, it's really a lot different than you think it is, and they represent, 600,000 or 700,000 people, and there's a 7-person member, board of commissioners, and the greater Atlanta area is gigantic, but Fulton County is really smaller than Franklin County. It's just that there's a multi-county area. So I could sit here and talk about counties across the country all day long. That's what being a vice chair and the former chair of the large urban county caucus has taught me over the years. But anyway, taking too much time already. I love county government.
I have to say I do too. I mean, again, I've been at all the different levels. I know you worked at the state level too. You worked in the treasurer's office, so you're familiar with that. I was going to put Madam Prosecutor on the spot and say, which is better, city or county, since she just came from the city.
She hasn't been here long.
Yeah, I don't want to.
She'll figure it out.
I was going to mess with her, but then she was over there too serious, so I didn't want to call you out like that. But we know it's county.
She'll figure it out the longer she's in.
Yeah, it may take a second. No, it's different. It's just different. It's just different. And the only things I had 2 points. You made me think of 2 things, Commissioner O'Grady. One is that we should take the time as we highlight County Government Month to share some things each week that you may not know. And so I challenge you, Commissioner O'Grady, to let's come up with things that did you know about Franklin County in celebration honor of County Government Month, and I bet you'll come up with some cool things. I'll share a couple you made me think of. One, did you know that county commissioners are paid, our pay is set by the Ohio Revised Code, meaning that the legislature, the General Assembly, sets our salaries, so we can't, elected county officials, including the prosecutor, the auditor, the treasurer, et cetera, our salaries are set by the Ohio General Assembly. And once they're set, they're set. And we can't, there's a proposed raise, I suppose, there, but we can't, let's say they pass it, none of us can actually partake in that until we are elected again. And so we wouldn't be able to, it wouldn't be immediate for us. We don't get any of that right away. It would be, we'd have to be elected, so, and we just got elected, so we'd have to essentially wait for another 4 years, almost 4 years. The second fact that I'll share with you is that Commissioner O'Grady brought up the structure of our county, 3 county commissioners. That is a part of the Constitution and Ohio Revised Code of Ohio, where every county shall have 3 county commissioners, no matter what your population is. However, there's an asterisk to it. There are 2 counties in Ohio that don't have a county commission system. They have what's called a charter county government, and which means they operate more under home rule statute, and they're more like a city, and even their structure. Jeannie Hummer's looking at me like, did I not explain that right? Okay. There are 2 counties that are an exception to the rule. They are, and there's history as to why they're that way. Most of it has to do with corruption or different events that happened where they did a ballot initiative to change the structure of government, and then it had to be changed to the legislature and put into that format. And so the first is Summit County, so that would be the Akron area. And the second one is Cuyahoga County, which is the Cleveland area. They just became a charter form of county government. I mean, since I've been an elected official, so it's been somewhere in the last 20 years, which is kind of new. That's recent in government terms. So those are the only 2 governments that so they would have a county council and have, I want to say it's like
Summit County was around the late 1970s, early 1980s, 79, 80, and they have 11 county council members and a county executive, but they also elect all of their row offices as well. So they still elect the prosecutor and the treasurer and the county auditor and everybody. Cuyahoga County, that happened in 2008, 2009. The 2008 election was the first time it happened. and they have 11 county council members and a county executive, and they only elect their prosecutor. Otherwise, everybody else is appointed, including the sheriff.
So the county council members.
County council members are
Also
all
elected.
independently elected.
Yeah.
They elect the 11 members of the county council, the county
And they have
executive.
districts as
Yeah.
opposed to being county-wide.
Yeah, as is the same in Summit County.
So now you know a little bit about county government, but I challenge you, next week we'll have some really fun, we'll try to find some fun facts. All right, let's keep it moving here. We also would like to recognize Earth Day, and today we have Corey Sedmak, I think I get that right, and Kyle Wilson with us. We're delighted to welcome some special guests to us this morning. Corey and Kyle are both with the Franklin County Soil and Water District and are here to share a few words to recognize Earth Day and what that means, and which takes place next Tuesday, April 22nd. They'll highlight the importance of celebrating Earth Day in our community. This occasion serves as a powerful reminder of our shared responsibility to preserve the natural beauty and vital resources of Franklin County, not just for today, but for future generations to come. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Kyle Wilson, Assistant Director with Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District, and with me is Corey Sedmak, our Public Outreach Coordinator. There's an old idiom that says, every day is Earth Day to a farmer. Well, the same can be said for Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District. Whether we're out teaching environmental education programs to more than 20,000 students annually, conducting stream walks to identify potential impacts to water quality throughout the county, or overseeing the restoration of streams and wetlands, Franklin Soil and Water truly approaches every day as Earth Day. One of our goals is to help everyone in Central Ohio become more connected and focused on the protection of our valuable natural resources, and eventually move towards everyone thinking every day is Earth Day. In order to get started, there's really no better place than kind of looking at Earth Day itself, which, like the Commissioner said, will take place next Tuesday, April 22nd. Today I've asked Corey to briefly speak about the importance of Earth Day and how Franklin County residents can get involved.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for recognizing Earth Day 2025. This year is the 55th anniversary of Earth Day, so I dove into a little bit of history. I know Commissioner O'Grady loves history, of Franklin County's environmental stewardship. I found an excerpt from our 1977 annual report I wanted to share. I think it's a hopeful message, very pertinent to some of the environmental challenges we face today. When the district was formed in 1946, America had the reputation of being the greatest waster in recorded history of her soil, water, plants, and wildlife. Yet today, this country is the acknowledged world leader in the conservation and wise use of natural resources. In nearly every community across the nation, rural and urban people have voluntarily organized themselves to spread the knowledge of new techniques and methods of natural resource management. Their means of working together is their own soil and water conservation district. We take a lot of pride in the fact that our mission today is nearly exactly the same as it was when we started out in 1946. We also take pride in the fact that the Franklin County Commissioners have supported us in our mission since 1959, when you first wrote us a check for $750 to help residents with erosion control issues. The first Earth Day wasn't until 1970, so you could say that Franklin County embraced sustainability over a decade before it was cool. We hopped on the trend early because Franklin County and Franklin County Commissioners have always prioritized the compatibility of economic development and environmental sustainability and resilience. And you've done so because you know that pursuing resilience efforts like green infrastructure, mass transit, and protection of our river corridors not only protects the environment and wildlife, but also protects residents, saving the money in the long run and assuring future generations will enjoy a high quality of life here. With the help of the Commissioners, Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District makes every day Earth Day for residents. Every year, we stretch our dollars a little further. In 2024, we set several records, such as reaching over 20,000 students with engaging experiments and stories that teach them how to be good environmental stewards. We give out rebates on native plants, rain barrels, and compost bins last year to 1,191 households across the county, and distributed $150,000 of funding to local community gardens to be able to increase local food production through the Franklin County Urban Agricultural Critical Infrastructure Grant. In 2025, we're planning to break all these records all over again. With your help, we also provide technical assistance for rain gardens that capture pollution, beautify communities, attend nearly 100 community events in every corner of the county to share how we can all help keep our drinking water clean, and offer discounts on rain barrels that both reduce water pollution and save residents money on growing their own food. These actions highlight the co-benefits of environmental sustainability. When we protect our environment, it's not just about healthy rivers and wildlife benefits. It's about supporting residents' health, livelihoods, and the safety of our county in a rapidly changing climate. I hope you have time to stop by a County Earth Day event, such as our Soil Health Workshop with Ohio State Extension at their new facility at 2548 Carmack Road. That is on April 23rd at 5:30 p.m., or Clinton Township's annual Earth Day, April 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Clinton Township Hall. These are both events that have been held for several years, and they're a great way to meet partners and others who are interested in sustainability. Thank you, and happy Earth Day.
Thank you, Corey. And we encourage you guys and all of Franklin County residents to go out and celebrate Earth Day. Plant a tree, do a volunteer event on our website, franklinsoilandwater.org. We've got all kinds of volunteer opportunities and can link you with the larger events. If you live in Franklin County, you're directly adjacent to a wonderful stream, a wetland, a woodlot, something right in your backyard that you might not have noticed, and we encourage you to get out there and make those a healthier place for all of Franklin County residents to enjoy. If no further questions, we thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming down, Kyle and Corey. The only thing I would add is that, and Commissioner O'Grady may or may not have something, but I'll just say this real quick. And as I shared with you, I'm watching 1923 in Yellowstone, so I just finished 1923. It's just a reminder of those early pioneering days when it really was the Native Americans that showed us and taught us a lot about farming, and really sort of created a lot of the agricultural sort of elements that we still employ today. But I'm reminded of two factors here locally that we should be sensitive as relates to Earth Day. First is the protection of the Big Darby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so much of our ecosystem is that makes Central Ohio unique is rooted in the Big Darby and the degradation thereof. And so from the Big Darby Accord to the folks who volunteer to help ensure that we aren't destroying that natural resource there. I mean, just something that we should highlight during Earth Day next week. And then secondly, Central Ohio is growing at a very fast pace. And what that means is that, there's more impervious land, meaning that there are more parking spaces and buildings and things that take up the soil or lay over the soil, which impacts its the drainage systems and what runs off into our soil. And so now more than ever, we have to be thoughtful about the protection of the ground underneath, even this building. And I'm always amazed that when time goes by and we tear down a building and we discover what's under there, and it's a forgotten history of some sort. But we have a chance in this generation to be much more thoughtful about it. Central Ohio, Grady and I always talk about the Central Ohio that we grew up in. It is not the Central Ohio that we live in today. But even think about 5 or 10 years ago, the Central Ohio we were living in, it's not the same Central Ohio. And I can assure you that 10 years from now, it won't be the same. And so being thoughtful and taking moments and times like Earth Day seriously are going to be important, where it's not just a day, but it's every day. And I just can't express that enough as we build out and more of Central Ohio to accommodate housing. We talk about affordable housing all the time. It's a double-edged sword. The more housing we build to support our residents, the more land, the more soil that we turn and is impacted. And so it's something that I think, I speak for the commission, we take seriously and believe in. And Commissioner Grady, you want to add anything?
Corey, you're correct. I am interested in history. And Kyle, Corey, you can tell from the reason the reason I'm interested in history is because as Commissioner Boyce points out, most weeks up here I am a relic, but as he indicates, we do talk about our shared history in our growing up here in Central Ohio, and what we know of the Central Ohio that we were raised in, and where it has come to, and what we see and what we know of it today, with the hand that we've had in creating the Central Ohio of today. And the idea that we need to be responsible for what it is becoming. We have conversations regular conversations with the engineer about drainage issues. It's part of the engineer's job to deal with, and with you guys at Franklin Soil and Water, part of our job to deal with drainage issues. And so, and I grew up in the Darby, and so, these are all things that we take very seriously, that we consider on a regular basis, and that we talk about. So, there's, I think we do a pretty good job here in Franklin County of paying attention to our past and paying attention to our future when it comes to these issues. So we appreciate you guys coming down here today and reminding us again, not only about Earth Day, but reminding us about, what we have to do as stewards of our community.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
And the example the commissioners have set for, like Corey said, decades is amazing for local governments. The Darby, utmost importance. I can't say that it's the only stream and river of value here in Franklin County. We're blessed with the Alum Creek, Big Walnut, Olentangy. All of these systems are amazing, but like you pointed out, Commissioner, the Darby is special, and there is a movement to update the Big Darby Accord, so some new things will be coming out. We'll also be assessing the successes from the original Accord plan, so we'll be looking at that. And as a final note, your point about Native Americans and taking lessons from history is important. Recently, this past fall, at our Hell Branch Meadows restoration site, we used fire to burn a prairie. And that's something that has been around for generations of burning that prairie for the health, to manage invasive species, to encourage growth of native plants. So we're using techniques that have been around for centuries and incorporating it into a modern environment, and it's better for the earth to do it that way rather than mechanically a lot of times. So thanks for bringing that up, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Okay, we'll keep it moving here. Before we begin our usual Tuesday agenda, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the milestones in our community leadership. Franklin County Prosecutor Shayla Faber will celebrate her 100th day in office tomorrow. And I want to take this moment to personally and publicly thank her for her service to our community and her steadfast commitment to justice and public safety. Prosecutor Faber, we're grateful for your leadership and would like to offer you a personal point of privilege at this time to share some perspective on your first 100 days.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. And before I get started, Commissioner Boyce is always joking with me which one is better, city or county. And from someone who has also served at the local level as well, I think you know just how different city government is as compared to county government. I'm not going to lie, I do miss home rule. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But what I do know is that whether I have had the honor to serve as a member of the legislature with city council or here alongside you all, our community is blessed by public servants who dedicate everything to serving Franklin County residents, Columbus residents, all across our community. And so I consider it truly one of the greatest honors of my life to be able to do the work that I believe that I've been called to do, whether it's been at the city level or at the county level. I hope that was a good answer for you.
It was very. You said county was better. Okay, gotcha.
You will not get me in trouble. Good morning to you all, Commissioner O'Grady and Commissioner Boyce, as well as County Administration and Franklin County residents. Thank you for this recognition. I want to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to this board, not just for your partnership over these first 100 days, but for your shared commitment to building a justice system that is transparent, fair, and rooted in the needs of our community. When I stepped into this role, I did so with a clear mission: to reimagine what justice looks like in Franklin County. That means more than restructuring divisions or launching new programs. It means changing the way we think about prosecution. It means centering people, public safety, and equity. Because of your support, particularly your investment in critical initiatives like our new Discovery Unit, we've been able to make meaningful progress right away. We've created units that are now tackling complex crime with data and strategy. We've strengthened internal culture, elevated staff voices, and extended a genuine invitation to the public to engage with this office in a new and in transparent ways. But this is only the beginning. The first 100 days were about building a foundation. The next 100 and beyond are about deepening our impact, both internally and externally, and we're just getting started. So today, I just want to say thank you for believing in this vision, for helping us get off the ground, and for being partners in the work of transforming justice in Franklin County. I am very hopeful, I am energized, and I'm ready to keep moving forward together. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael. Thank you so much, Prosecutor Favors. I know it's been a very serious transition, and I know you've got a great team. You put together a really good team, and you know, we see it every day in our operations. I know for myself, there's probably not a day that goes by I don't hear from the prosecutor's office and are in touch with what's happening, what's going on, mostly how it affects me or different things, but I see the other work as well. So thank you so much for your work. All right.
Commissioner, can I point out one other thing?
Yeah, please, Commissioner O'Grady.
One other thing to point out before we get going with the regular agenda this morning. Last week, Administrator Wilson was also appointed to a new, I think, elected position? An elected position on the Board of Directors of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators. So he had to travel last week to a conference to be able to take his position on the Board of Directors for the National Forum for Public Administrators, so Black Public Administrators. So congratulations to you, Administrator Wilson, for your another role in national. You've been a national leader for some time now, and so another reason for Franklin County to be proud on the national level.
Yeah, thanks,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement, Commissioner O'Grady. It is always humbling to be able to be afforded another opportunity to represent Franklin County on a national stage and be able to learn from others and advance the profession of county management. And, you know, we've spent a lot of time talking about the importance of counties and just how impactful counties are on the lives of our residents. So it is always a privilege, and I'll have these next 2 years as this Board of Director term plays out to try to be as impactful as I can. And each time that I go out and serve in that capacity, I'm always representing Franklin County and want to represent the residents, the 1.4 million residents, with integrity and also for the interests of our residents is why I serve. Thank you.
And if I could, I apologize. Also, congratulations and welcome, Prosecutor Favor. I didn't mean to do that so abruptly, so congratulations and welcome as well.
And I thank you, Commissioner O'Grady. To Administrator Wilson, I just want to recognize you as well. For the listening public, what you need to understand about being a part of a national organization is it means that he's a part of a collective of minds who lead large administrations all over the country. And it's there that they exchange ideas, learn from one another, take ideas that might be seeded in a conversation because someone else has faced a challenge that we're facing or vice versa. And so there's a real value in your role there, but more importantly, it's indicative of how you are vested in Central Ohio and as administrator. I'll just finally say that, I've known Administrator Wilson for a very long time. We were staffers back in the day when we were young guys. He was in the Senate, I was in the House, and it's just an impressive thing to see how you've evolved in your leadership role throughout the years. This job isn't easy, and I think it's one thing to be a commissioner, it's another thing to be an administrator. I think there's a little more of a twist to being an administrator, and we appreciate your service, but more importantly, we appreciate the seriousness that you take the job and the duty, and you've always been that way. Since I've known you, you're always a serious guy, and I admire that you take on that national role because that just makes Central Ohio even stronger. So congratulations, my friend.
To acknowledge how long Commissioner Boyce and I have known each other, and as well as Administrator Wilson. Administrator Wilson remembers when my wife and I were dating. That's how long.
Wait, what? Really?
That's how long.
Oh, man,
Administrator Wilson and I know each other.
yeah.
So,
When y'all get married? What year did you get married?
1995.
Okay, all right. I was graduating from college that year.
That's right.
All right.
Let me
We know
have,
each other
let me
longer
have,
than you and I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Commissioner Boyce, let me have another moment of personal
Sure.
privilege. He was, Commissioner O'Grady was quite the romantic. One
Okay,
of the
now
things,
you're getting a little
one of the
carried
things I
away,
remember.
sir.
No, this is
Don't do
good.
this, don't do
This
this.
is good. I sit there and he the Flower of the Week club. Every week a new flower would show up for his wife to be. And I would sit there and say, okay, this dude, he working hard here.
Then we got married and they stopped coming.
So folks understand, his wife Pam also worked in the legislature for many, many years. So I knew her before I knew Commissioner O'Grady even as well. Man, what a great story. And Flower of the Week, huh? Okay.
Like
You
I said-
always surprise me, man. I got to tell you. Sometimes I'll be like, this guy.
That's how you marry above your head, Commissioner.
You don't think I know that? Yeah. I wasn't as smooth as you were with the Flower of the Week, but maybe I'll try it now and get to be married as long as you've been married.
Hey, if we're going back that far, here's another thing. Robin Ross was in our wedding. She was a bridesmaid, so.
Okay, this gets better and better. Yeah. All right. Didn't know that. Okay. All right. All right. Let's keep it moving. We're at this agenda. It's a very short agenda, so we'll be good. Is there approval of the minutes for the February 20th, March 6th, March 13th, 2025 briefing sessions, and the February 25th and March 11th, 2025 general sessions?
I'll move approval of minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Okay. First up, the auditor.
Resolution number 27225, resolution approving 4 contract extensions for mediation services in the amount of $725,000.
Good morning, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Grady, PR Casey from Franklin County Auditor Stinziano's office. Today, our resolution involves the reauthorization of a contract with some mediators, specifically Walter Rexis, James Hutchins, A New Beginning Mediation Services LLC, and Dispute Resolution, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $725,000 for all vendors for the purposes of providing mediation services. As you know, the Franklin County Auditor's Office wishes to enter into the extension with the above-listed individuals and companies for the continued provision of mediation services. The mediation program in the Auditor's Office resolves valuation disputes outside of the regular Board of Revision process, freeing up the Board of Revision cases backlogs and reducing the time it takes for taxpayers to get a final determination of value. Franklin County's mediation program was the first such program in the state, and it has been a huge success for the county. Of all cases referred to mediation, over 98% of the cases have reported being satisfied with the process. The term of the contract shall be for 1 year, and I will take any questions, but do request approval of this resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27225.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27225 has been adopted.
Great, thank you. Engineer.
Resolution number 27325, resolution authorizing participation in the Ohio Department of Transportation contract for road salt, Franklin County, Ohio.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nick Soulis on behalf of County Engineer Adam Fowler. Commissioners, this first resolution is an annual resolution that will allow us to participate in the annual ODOT bid for salt, road salt. We anticipate this year purchasing about 8,000 tons of rock salt for the 25-26 winter season. I've left, Commissioner Boyce, you had some questions. I've left the statistics on your desk. I sent you an email as well. Happy to address those if you have any questions. Otherwise, I request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27325.
I was just reading your thing. Thank you. This is helpful. This is nice. I may use that for something. Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27325 has been adopted. Resolution number 27425, plans approved for the rehabilitation of the structure on Harrisburg-Georgesville Road, 2.83, over Big Darby Creek, Pleasant Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Did you know, Commissioner Boyce, that in Franklin County, the commissioners own and the county engineer maintains 357 bridges? Those bridges are located in all municipalities and townships in Franklin County. Bridges in Ohio are unique in that when annexations occur, the maintenance responsibility and ownership remains with the county, unlike other infrastructure, which is why they're located in all different municipalities. One of those bridges, Commissioners, is the Harrisburg-Georgesville Road Bridge over the Big Darby. It's located in southwest Franklin County in Pleasant Township. It's right next to the livery down there. This resolution will authorize plan approval for the rehabilitation of that bridge. It is funded with CEAO county local bridge dollars and will involve the replacement of the deck and arch fill and repair the arches and spandrel walls. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
I know that, and speaking of history, I know this bridge. My friends used to own Trapper John's Canoe Livery. I have canoed there many times. If there are no further comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 27425.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27425 has been adopted. Resolution number 27525, report first of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Cosgray and Faust Ditch Drainage Improvements Project, Washington Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $10,318.
Commissioners, this project, the Cosgray Road and Faust Ditch Project, is funded through OPWC dollars and is seeking to improve drainage along Cosgray Road, south of Rings Road, and along Faust Ditch, north of Hayden Run Road. We have successfully negotiated with the property owner, and compensation is based on appraised fair market value. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27525.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27525 has been adopted. Resolution number 27625, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to JLD Construction Services LLC for Cosgray Road and Faust Ditch drainage improvements in the amount of $1,047,645.30.
Commissioners, this resolution is similar to the previous resolution in that it deals with the Cosgray Road and Faust Ditch drainage improvements. JLD Construction Services LLC was selected via the competitive bidding process with a bid opening on March 18, 2025. They were the lowest bid, and we consider them the lowest and best bidder. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27625.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27625 has been adopted. Resolution number 27725, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Kokosing Construction Company Incorporated for the 2025 County Resurfacing Program in the amount of $2,217,301.23.
Commissioners, this resolution relates to our annual resurfacing program. This year's program includes 11 roads. Kokosing Construction Company was selected via the competitive bidding process, and this is a locally funded project with the engineer's EBE program being implemented. The EBE goal is 8%, and Kokosing is utilizing multiple contractors and will actually exceed this goal. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27725.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27725 has been adopted.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
And Commissioners, if I could have one additional comment?
Sure.
As another Franklin County factoid, and it made me think of it, I was recently in the engineer's office, and there's a map on the floor of their building. The literal center, and as the Commissioners have raised this before, the literal center of Franklin County is at Huntington Park, owned and by the Commissioners, which is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, DCA Long. That's a route that when I'm training for marathons and running, I run, and I always take a picture in front of because there's a
Right.
it's almost like a statue. It's a plaque, but it's kind of on a life-size kind of statue there. So if you get a chance, it's fun. It's a fun picture. So it's literally right across from the entry I guess that would be the northern entry of Huntington Park.
The home plate entry.
No.
Is it the home plate?
No, it's the outfield. It'd be
Okay.
what's on
The left
Neal.
field, the left field. Neal.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be right? Because it's like right across from
Where
the
the
arena.
knot, where the knot holes are? That's
Wouldn't that
that's
be right?
left field.
Yeah, because it's if you're facing
Where the building is?
yeah, because it's right at it's
Where
right.
the outfield building is?
Yes,
That's
it's
left- that's left field.
That's left field. Okay, because it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's right. It's like right on the other side of Neal, on the other side of the street.
I'll teach you baseball before we're done.
I don't know anything about baseball. Yeah. I don't know because I guess it would be if you're facing that way. But anyway, okay. But yeah, it's actually a pretty cool statue though because it's like this is the center of Franklin County, which is kind of neat. And I always take a picture and post it when I'm training. So nice. Yep.
Thank you.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. Next is Office of Aging.
Resolution number 27825, resolution authorizing 45 grant agreements with various Franklin County nonprofit organizations that will provide services and programming in order to promote and support the social determinants of health for seniors in the amount of $3,867,817.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Larice
Morning.
Cohens, Office on Aging, Chief Financial Officer. Each year, the Franklin County Office on Aging receives grant funding to provide specialized services to older adults, supporting their ability to live independently and with dignity in the community. For the 2023 through 2027 levy cycle, FCOA strategically aligns its grant awards to support projects that address one or more domains in the social determinants of health with the goal of achieving healthy outcomes. FCOA solicited grant proposals from various Franklin County nonprofit organizations for innovative or expanded programming and services that enhances the quality of life for older adults. FCOA will award 45 grant agreements aligned across all 5 social determinants of health domains as follows. Economic Stability will receive $730,865 to fund 9 projects. Social and Community Contacts will receive $1,285,026 to fund 15 projects. Education and Access and Quality will receive $34,102 to fund 1 project. Healthcare and Access and Quality will receive $1,422,759 to fund 14 projects. And lastly, Neighborhood and Built Environment will receive $395,065 to fund 6 projects. The Franklin County Office on Aging wishes the authorization of these grant agreements with various Franklin County nonprofit organizations to provide senior services and programming in order to promote and support access to the social determinants of health for seniors in Franklin County in a total dollar amount not to exceed $3,867,817 for the calendar year 2025. This resolution also supports the following goals of the Franklin County Rise Together Blueprint, goals number 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Pending any questions, we gladly request your approval of this resolution.
Commissioner, if I could,
Please.
Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. I just really wanted to quickly lift up, as the public may view this later, we are currently, I see Riley in the room and my colleague to my left that fights the good fight with me every day. We are currently watching on a federal level the cuts, not just to HHS, but particularly for the Social Services Block Grant. Many of you may have seen in the news that Social Services Block Grant funds our Meals on Wheels program. So if that program is weakened, it could cause wait list, which we do not have currently right now in Franklin County. Currently right now, if a senior needs a meal, they get a meal on Meals on Wheels. But unfortunately, if the funding is cut, it could cause a wait list. It could cause, other disruption in services. So we are currently watching diligently what is going to happen to our federal funding as it impacts our partners. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for raising that, DCA Bivens. I saw a story this morning, and we probably at some point, Administrator Wilson, should start to track all of the impacts that federal policy is having, because that's going to affect our decisions in our next budget cycle. It's going to affect our day-to-day. And to be honest with you, it's just hard to keep up with them nowadays. So I don't even know what the real impact is now, because every day it's something else. And while we're not relying upon our government, our federal government, to carry out the duties of Franklin County, we'll do the best we can with the resources that we have and generate here locally. There is an impact, and it's serious. And so it'd be great if we somehow could begin to evaluate that.
I'm sure each of our agency directors can help administration keep track of the impacts across the board, but you're absolutely correct. I read the same article this morning. You got seniors out there that are using Meals on Wheels to supplement SNAP, and SNAP's getting cut, Meals on Wheels are getting cut. I mean, we got people that are getting ready to go hungry here, based on the administration in Washington's decisions that they're making. And it's going to fall on us to,
Yep. Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator, the impact of losing 700,000 tons of pounds of food is going to be felt all the way through the system. And as you point out, many of our seniors rely on supplements through our Mid-Ohio Food Collaborative, and families rely on supplements. And many of these individuals, contrary to some of the things that are said, work 1, 2 jobs, and they still have 3 kids that they're feeding in different cases. I visited the Linden Fresh Market recently, and every day they got on average of 300 individuals coming in to pick up food that's available, and the Mid-Ohio Food Collaborative is their source. So as that dry up, we really are going to have to brace for that. DCA Bivens was briefing me last week, and the week before. She constantly reminds me that our food banks, if they don't have the supply, they may not be open, say, 5 days. If they're open 3 days instead of 5 days. So you're right, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady. Food insecurity is going to worsen in the community. And I worry about our seniors and our children are the most vulnerable.
And Commissioners, just so you'll know. Sorry, Joy Bivens. Just so you know, I will be thinning out my calendar. I'm going to start going back out, visiting our nonprofits who provide these essential needs, just so we can get a very clear understanding on the volume, capacity, and what the impact is in these neighborhoods. You're going to start hearing us talk about case managing neighborhoods. We need to be more granular in the neighborhoods so that folks have access to some of these needed resources. So we're going to be working with our nonprofits. So we're going to kind of turn our operations inside out, upside down. I know my team is sick of me, but that's what we're going to do. The last thing I just want to mention is particularly for childcare. You may have seen in the news that particularly in Budget 26 on the federal level, Head Start and other childcare programs may be not written in the budget. This is a workforce issue. Folks can't drop their kids off, people can't go to work. A young person reached into me and Commissioner Crowley over the weekend and asked, what can we do to, get some attention around this? So we're gonna go out and start visiting some of our early learning centers as well, just to make sure that we're keeping an eye on the impact.
Well, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27825.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27825 has been adopted.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next is economic development and planning.
Resolution number 22625, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to execute on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Gary M. Signs and Diane L. Signs at 1051 Maple Street, Village of Harrisburg, Ohio, 43126.
Good morning, Commissioners, Administration. Emmanuel Torres. I'm Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning. The borrowers, just mentioned, they received a housing assistance loan on March 9th, 2012 in the amount of $6,633 from this board. Since then, Mr. Shines has deceased. This discharge has been reviewed and approved by the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, and pending any questions, I'll request your approval of this resolution.
Excuse me. If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 22625.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 22625 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 27925, resolution authorizing a professional service contract agreement with Mighty Crow Media for the development of a blueprint for Smart Justice Strategic Plan in the amount of $15,720.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Pearson, Chief Operating Officer with the Franklin County Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Commissioners, the mission of the Franklin County Criminal Justice Planning Board is to provide system-wide comprehensive planning and oversight and to direct our limited resources towards strategic and intentional efforts that enhance the safety, health, and welfare of Franklin County residents. To that end, this resolution requests your approval of a professional services contract with Mighty Crow Media for the planning, preparation, and facilitation of a strategic planning retreat currently scheduled for May 15th, with the end goal of releasing a refreshed four-year strategic plan, which we will refer to going forward as Franklin County's Blueprint to Smart Justice. This resolution supports Goal 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint and will be supported with a targeted community alternatives to prison grant. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 27925.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 27925 has been adopted. Resolution number 28025, resolution authorizing a sub-grant award with Franklin County Public Health for community-based services for individuals diverted from the prison system and/or at high risk for future criminal justice involvement under the FY 2025 Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program in the amount of $200,000.
Commissioners, this resolution requests your approval of the sub-grant award, as Brittany stated, in the amount of $200,000 to Franklin County Public Health to support continuation of an innovative health and human services housing model developed in collaboration with all 4 of the Franklin County Health and Human Services agencies led by Director DCA Bivens. Funding will be provided through the Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program, and we anticipate up to 19 families will receive housing stabilization services through emergency and transitional housing for up to 90 days while they work with a housing specialist and community health worker to secure permanent and stable housing long-term. This resolution supports goals 5 and 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint for reducing poverty, and pending any questions, we would ask for your approval.
Commissioner Boyce, if I could just really quick, so Melissa, can you make sure that we partner with ETV as well? So these folks, we can make sure our folks are getting those good jobs as they're obtaining their stability.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Commissioner.
Please.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady. COO Pearson, can you give some information on the all hands on deck reentry resource fair that just started, and how long it'll last? Is in meeting room B here in 369 South High. Give some information on that so if folks want to stop by and spread the word in the community.
Thank you so much, County Administrator Wilson, for giving me the opportunity to talk about that. I was hoping I might have a free moment because not only is it National County Government Month, it's also National Second Chance Act Month. And so we've got a lot of activities going on this month. Just across the hallway, we have an all-hands-on-deck resource fair, and that really is for the public at large, but we're really marketing it to those individuals maybe that are in need of longer-term employment or more secure housing. We have a number of employers, we have a number of housing providers, a lot of our reentry partners. We hope a lot of people stop by. It's going to be from 10 a.m. this morning until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Again, it is open to the public. I anticipate upwards of like 45 different vendors will be across the hallway. So if you get a chance, stop by. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to, you made me think of the mobile units and so much that we can offer from the mobile units, and what a great use of the mobile units it could be with other things that we do to kind of take that on the road. You know, coming to this facility can be intimidating, especially if you're in a second chance situation, because your experience has probably not been positive coming to this campus. And so want to definitely make sure those resources are available. And so just a thought, DCA Bivens maybe in one of our, if we're doing some tours this spring, to maybe bring the JPP folks along and use some of that.
That would be great. That would be wonderful. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Could I take a quick moment to plug the Tap-In Center? Is that okay?
Oh, great,
Well,
great.
while I'm up here, I also wanted to offer, to your point about it being intimidating coming down to the courthouse, that's absolutely what we hear all the time from individuals we're working with. To that end, we created what's called the Tap-In Center, and it's a model that was originally developed out of St. Louis. Our next Tap-In Center is next Tuesday, and it's at the Hilltop Library off Hague Avenue. For individuals that have a low-level, non-violent misdemeanor outstanding warrant, we really want to help individuals get those resolved in a non-threatening, kind of neutral environment where individuals leave with resources and not in handcuffs. So to that end, if anybody knows of anyone who could benefit from the Tap-In Center, please encourage them to call our hotline number at 614-525-4488. And now I'll be quiet. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Nice job.
I mean, you are at the podium. I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to, you got another plug?
I could keep going, but I'll stop. I'll stop.
This is a public meeting, Commissioner, so we want to keep them timely. too, you know.
When did we start that?
Today, it's a new rule, come on.
Timely public meeting. What pshaw. Anyway, all right, thank you for all your plugs this morning. They were great. I appreciate it. All right, if there are no further comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 28025.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 28025 has been adopted.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next is purchasing.
Resolution number 28125, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $3,967,158.56.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan
Morning.
Perry Valenier, Director of Purchasing, and joining me is Andrina Austin, Economic Equity Administrator for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution, Commissioners, request your approval of 67 purchase orders. The county auditor has pre-certified available funding, and Andrina has the supplier diversity data.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. 6 of the purchase orders being presented are being awarded to small and emerging businesses to total $181,641.41. These awards are dispersed as follows: 1% to small and emerging businesses, 4% to women-owned businesses, and 3% to minority-owned businesses. Once approved, 4 agencies will provide equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week, and these agencies are the Court of Appeals, the Data Center, the Engineer's Office, and the Sheriff's Department. Year-to-date, Franklin County Board of Commissioners agencies have awarded 193 purchase orders to small and emerging businesses to total $13,705,971.71. And pending any questions or comments, we are respectfully requesting your approvals.
If there are no further, if there are no comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 28125.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 28125 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any journalizations?
There are none.
All right. Well,
Commissioner, you may want to mention the Mental Health Summit, May 19th.
Go ahead. You just started. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
So, good morning. This will be the last thing. So on May 19th, the commissioners, and by the leadership of Commissioner Boyce, we are declaring it to be Mental Health Day. On that day, the Franklin County Commissioners will be having a Community Mental Health Summit at the Columbus Convention Center from 9 to 1. It is targeted for our young people and our seniors, as well as our veterans and others. But from 9 to 1, we'll probably have about 600 youth, as well as about 300 seniors down at the Convention Center, participating not just in learning about mental health, but actually having resources and clinicians on deck to assist with questions and resources so they can walk away with something in hand. From 3 to 8, it is for the general body of the community. They can attend any of the 9 to 1s, of course, but 3 to 8, we will have breakout sessions. There are guest speakers coming. Wallow and Gilly will be our guest speakers in the evening. We need everyone to register and register early because seating will be limited based on the popularity of not just the topic, but the folks that will be in attendance with us. The commissioners really want to make sure that folks are not just learning about mental health, but actually having tangible resources to assist us in our everyday lives. So again, May 19th, 9 to 1 for the youth, 3 to 8 for everyone else. We will send out the registration link as many times as possible during the week. I see Malcolm in the room. Thank you, commissioners.
All right. Thank you. If there are no further comments, thoughts, that concludes our meeting. Have a great week, everyone.